Hey, I'm going to do a quick review of some dividing fractions with mixed numbers. Remember, when we divide fractions, we're just multiplying by the reciprocal, and remember the reciprocal is the flip. So if we look at this first one, or this number 1, notice there are two fractions, so we don't have to do anything and change them into improper fractions. They're already fractions we can work with. So our first step is we're going to take it and we're going to flip and write it as a multiplication problem. So remember, we keep our 8 over 3, that doesn't change. Remember, our first number does not change. Put our multiply, then we are flipping this. So our 2 goes on the top and our 17 goes on the bottom. Then we treat it like any other multiplication problem. We're going 8 times 2, which is 16. We're doing 3 times 17, which is 51. So 16 over 51. All right, so we have a proper fraction because we know it's a proper fraction because our numerator is smaller than our denominator, but we still need to check if we need to birthday cake. We know that 2 will work on 16, but 2 will not work on here. So let's see if 3 works. 16, let's add our digits, 1 and 6, that's 7, so that's not gonna work. 4, I don't think works. I know 4 works for 16, but 4 does not work for 21. 5 doesn't work. 6 doesn't work. 7 doesn't work. Let's see if 8 works on 51. It doesn't, so that would be our fraction. All right, let's take a look at this next one. Notice this next one has 2 mixed numbers. Remember, when we have mixed numbers, we first need to change them into improper fractions. So remember, that's when we're going around. We're going down to multiply, up to add. So 5 times 4 is 20. Add 2 is 22. So our new numerator is 22. We keep that denominator of 4. Let's do the same to this one. We're going around to multiply. We're going up to add. So 2 times 3 is 6. Add 2 is 8. Keeping our denominator 3. So here's our dividing problem. Now we have a problem that looks just like this one. So this looks like this one. So now we need to change it into our multiplication problem. So we're going to go 22 over 4 times. We are only flipping this one, so our 8 is going to become our denominator, our 3 is going to become our numerator. So 3 over 8, and then we're going to multiply across. We're going to take that 22 times 3, which is going to equal our 66. We're going to take 8 times 4, which is going to be 32. And we're not done there, because we know that 2 can go into both numbers. Remember, we're looking at that back number. We're looking at that 6 here and that 2 here. They're both even numbers, so we can birthday cake it with a 2. So let's put that along the side. 66, 32. We're going to take a 2 out. 2 goes into 66 33 times. 2 goes into 3 one time with 1 left over. 2 goes into 12 6 times. All right. We know that 2 won't work. They both don't end in 2. 3 won't work for 16. 4 won't work for 33. 8 won't work for 33. 5 won't work. I think that's as good as we're going to get. So our fraction right now is going to be 33 over 16. Are we done? No way, we're not. We have that improper fraction again. This top number is bigger than this bottom number. So we have to do everybody's favorite step of a long division. So we have to take that 33 divided by 16. 16 goes into 33 twice. 2 times 16 is 32. we have 1 left over. Remember, our whole number is our numerator. This is our whole number. So 2 is our big number. This is our numerator is our leftover, and our denominator stays the same. All right, let's look at a couple more problems. This time I really want you to pause these and try them first. So let's start with our easier one. So our easier one is this one, because it's just fractions. I want you to pause the video and write it as a multiplication problem. All right, hopefully you paused your video and you came up with this as your multiplication problem. Remember, we flipped that second one. I want you to pause the video and follow through with the multiplication. Hopefully you pause your video and your multiplication looks like that, and you went across. 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 1 is 3. Pause and do the next step. Okay, in case you forgot the next step, it's a division problem. Pause and follow through. All right, now I hope you paused. We're going to put the 4 here. We're going to put the 3 here. 3 goes into 4 one time. 1 left over. I want you to pause your video if you haven't already and write your mixed number. I hope you pause your video. Remember, this is your whole number. So our big number is our 1. This is our numerator. This is our denominator. So 1/3. So our answer is 1 1/3. All right, let's do the harder one. Think about what our first step is going to be in this one. We can't flip right away because we have this crazy mixed number here. Remember how we change a mixed number into something. Pause your video and follow through. In case you forgot what you need to do, you need to change this into an improper fraction. So remember, we're multiplying and going up and adding. Pause your video if you needed that reminder. Okay, so you should have went 6 times 2 is 12. Add 1 is 13. Remember, we keep our numerator. And then we're just going to drop this guy down. 28 over 3. We still have a dividing problem. Go ahead and pause your video and write your next step. If you didn't pause your video, sorry. Here's what your next step should be. 28 over 3 times our flip, 2 over 13. All right, pause your video and multiply across. So our top should be 56 and your bottom should be 39. All right, let's see if we need to do anything with it. Let's see if we can birthday cake it. So let's use our rules. This is it. This is divisible by 2. This one is not. Let's see if it adds up to be divisible by 3. 5 and 6 make 11, which add to 2. That's not divisible by 3. It's not divisible by 4. It's not divisible by 5. 6 doesn't work. 7 doesn't work. Since there's a 13 in here, let's try a 13. 56 divided by 13. That doesn't work. All right, so we can't birthday cake it, so we have to look at it. This number's bigger than this number, so we have to do our favorite step of what? You're right, dividing. So we're going to put a little pause on your video and make sure you work our dividing step. All right, coming back, we should put our 56 here, our 39 here. 39 goes into 56 one time, subtracting it out. We should be left with 17. So remember, our whole number is 1. That's our whole number. This is our numerator, 17, and our denominator is 39. All right, this next part of the video, I want you to pick any 3, and I want you to pause the video and work them. After you pause your video for a little while, I want you to turn the video back on and you can see the answers. I will reveal the multiplication step first and then the answer. So hopefully you pause your video. You might want to fast forward to the ones you did. I will do them in number order. So number 7, this should have been 9 over 2, and it should be times 4 over 26. So make sure these are both changed from mixed number to improper fraction, so make sure those are correct. If those are not correct, make sure you recheck it, pause your video. All right, so recheck that, and the answer should be that. All right, doing the same for number 8. So the multiplication should be 7 over 2 times 3 over 14. If that multiplication step wasn't correct, make sure you take a look at that again. Please note that this has a dot for a multiplication sign. That means multiply. And the answer to number 8 is 21 over 28. Ooh, notice on these, they aren't reduced. So these will need to be reduced. Okay, so the reduced answer to this one, once we birthday cake it, 36, 52, we can take a 2 out. 1, 8, 2, 6, can keep going, 2, 9, 1, 3. So the reduced answer should be 9/13. This one here, birthday caked answer should be 3/4. All right, I'll make sure and get those other ones right too. All right, this should be 28 over 5. This should be 3 over 19. If those are not correct, please retry, pause the video and check. And 84 over 95. And that would be as simple as it can get. Let's take a look at this one. This one should be 13 over 3 and 4 over 27. If you don't have that right, please pause the video and check again. The answer should be 52 over 81. And I believe that's a simplified answer on that one. All right, this one should be 7 over 3 and 5 over 19. Again, if you don't have those correct, make sure you go back, correct them, find your errors. The answer should be 35 over 57. All right, taking a look at this one. Oopsie. This should be 3 over 5. This one should be 3 over 1. And your answer should be 9 over 5, which is not a simplified answer. That should be, forgot the division problem on that. We put our 9 here, we put our 5 here. It's going to go once, 5, 4 is going to be left over, so 1 and 4/5. If I'm ever wrong on these, please let me know. Please show it to me, and you will get a small prize and a big thank you. Thanks, guys.